Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the front. This is the POLCAST, brought to you by the Pillars of Liberty. My name is Mike, and I'm accompanied, as always, by my beautiful wife, Sahar.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the POLCAST.
We are on our maiden voyage for this...
Starting up.
This experience, I should say. And we are by no means professionals, so please cut us a little slack, man. We first want to kind of let you know who we are, our backgrounds, and then get into the why we're doing this and what we plan to do with this. So I guess first thing we should probably do is introductions, and Smooch, if you want to go ahead and kind of let the folks know who you are.
All right. Sure. My name's Sahar. You can call me Smooch. I'm a proud American Muslim, a daughter to two Afghan refugees escaping the claws of communism in the late 80s. They ended up becoming citizens to the greatest nation on the planet.
Amen.
Ended up deploying a couple times, working as a contractor with the Department of Defense as a linguist and an intel analyst. Found Aquaman working in Afghanistan, and then caught him in a net, and then brought him home and married him.
I was cleaning out trash cans and
now we have two kids.
porta johns, and now we're here sweating our butts off in our garage.
Yeah, now
because we don't have any.
If you hear me breathing heavy, just
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you hear any panting or like, oh God, it's hot in here. It is hot in here, and we just had Hurricane Ida come through New Orleans, so we're praying for those folks out there. And
Yeah.
our group might actually be taking some supplies over there a little later in the week if we can get down there. But
Yeah.
but we'll see. That's not a for sure thing yet. So I guess that leads me
Yep.
to kind of run my sock a little bit about who I am, and I promise I won't take up too much time.
Okay.
But the name's Mike. I know my friends call me Buttons. No, they do. Some people do,
Buttons.
but I don't like that. You can call me Glider though,
Yes.
or Duke. I still go by Duke. So I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, South Side, dirty South. Grew up there, and then multiple other points around the United States. I went into the Marines in the 90s and got out right before 9/11, and thought I was going to get recalled, but that never happened, and ended up doing several other things and always wanted to deploy again, so I found my way back in the saddle, so they say. Except for this time, it was in Army uniform and a funny little green hat with Special Forces. I've had multiple deployments, as you can see on the screen, if you're watching and not sleeping yet. And some combat deployments in there as well, where...
Some cool guy pics.
Yeah, some cool guy pics, and where I met my wife, and the rest is history, as they say.
I was behind that mud hut over there in the background of one of those pictures, and I happened to wander out, and that's how we met.
Well, that one pic, that's Bellenby right there.
I know that's Bellenby.
Yeah. And Bellenby, man, that place looked like the Alamo. It was crazy, like, the walls and stuff looked like an Afghan Alamo. But and that's kind of why we're here. Why we decided to try this out, I guess. We are not professionals, at least in this type of broadcasting. We've never done this before. We've been procrastinating for weeks.
No, it's not procrastinating. It's
Yeah, it's really not.
He's a one-man show, and he's doing all the production and stuff, and I sit here and
I got wires coming
get
out of my
dolled up, and
ankles.
come out, and I'm like, all right, is it ready yet?
Well, even now we're trying desperately to hold back the sweat.
Right, and the
'Cause,
panting on the microphone.
Yeah, it is. It's a little hot here, but that's okay.
We'll hurry it up.
That's okay because there are people a lot hotter than us and in a lot more danger than us at the moment.
Yeah, like the Americans that were stranded in Afghanistan with our allies.
Now wait, Smooch. According to the Biden administration, those people chose to stay, and there's only like
You mean
there's only a
Jen
couple.
Psaki or the because
Don't.
she's pretty much the president. She's
No, I would circle back on that. She is not. She is not the president.
she sure acts like it. She sure acts like she's running the show over there.
No, after her batteries run out, they put her back in the box every night because you have to charge those batteries in order to put up with the grueling job of having to lie to people every single day. And she doesn't. I'd say she does it with a smile, but she doesn't because she doesn't smile. I don't know if robots can smile.
That's
So-
a good point.
Yeah. So that is kind of why we're here. The other part of it is that we're tired of being manipulated, being lied to, and no accountability, such as a devil dog by the name of, I think it's Lieutenant Colonel Scheller,
Yeah.
I think is what I think his name is,
Yeah.
who, took it upon himself. And this kind of lead into what we were talking about earlier. He got a lot of blowback because of the fact that he made those comments on Facebook in uniform. And I can kind of see that, how if you're in uniform, it's a little bit different. There's discipline that's involved, and you're not supposed to. In the Marine Corps, you're not even supposed to go out in your multicams out
Right.
out in town or anything. So,
I think at this point, the atrocities that have happened, I'm not really paying attention to whether he's in regulation or not or any of that. I'm looking at his leadership and the fact that he came out
Amen.
and he was nervous, and you can tell he's human, and he was able to express and want answers. And even how he handled it after he was relieved, he handled it very professionally, and I applaud him. And I just want him to know that people like us support him. He has our, we have his back.
it's I think it comes down to right and wrong, and everything that was done. You can go shove that whole biggest airlift in U.S. history
Yeah,
up
my
your
ass.
butt, because there shouldn't have been an airlift. There should have never been an airlift. And I totally, I'm all for what he said. And I know there's other soldiers out there that are taking a stand. He had mentioned it himself in that little video he put out, that there were several other battalion commanders or similar positions, that guys he knew that were going to make a stand, whether or not they did, because I haven't really heard anything else. But then
Right.
again, I don't dip my toe in those kind of pools. I don't. We're very non-social media type people. I don't even have. I don't know if
I
it's
thought
you have to
something
have a
just
Twitty
bit
count,
me,
but
so if I looked startled for a moment, that's what that was.
a lot of ants in this part of
Spiders.
the country, and spiders. But and I commend him as well for actually, resigning his commission and basically saying, to hell with your benefits. I don't need them. And that is something that is leadership. The almighty buck does not control him, at least from the outside looking in. For someone to, guys in the military, if you're a lifer or you're planning on staying in 20, you're doing that
Right.
because you want to get that pension,
Yes.
you want to get those benefits, and to just completely say no, I'm not dealing with your poison, and step away from it is admirable, and I commend him for doing that, and I hope that the so-called leaders in the military, and I kind of have a viewpoint of, if you're an '06 and above, you're a politician. Even that like command sergeant major position, and anything above that,
Yeah.
you're a politician essentially.
Yeah.
You are not really connected to those foot soldiers, much in the way that our so-called self-serving representatives aren't connected to the people that are voting for them.
Right.
And that's a serious problem, because these people have basically took on the mantle of lords and baronesses, or whatever type of royalty title
Right.
you want to give to them. And it's proving to be a recipe for disaster. And I think a lot of people are waking up to that and finally smelling what they've been stepping in for, well, for me, decades now. And I don't want to keep going on like this. I mean,
Well, it all comes down to, if the head fails, the body suffers, and that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the effects of the head of our leadership, the head of our country, just, it's deteriorating, and there really never was a head to begin with. So as far
Sorry,
as
folks.
because of the election and how that played out, but in my view, but the most terrifying words in English language is, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
I'm here to help.
Ronald
I'm
Reagan.
from the government, and I'm here to help.
So, and, we don't want to depend on the government. I'm sorry. The government's not there for us to depend on. They're there to protect us.
That is their only job, is to protect us.
They're not there to tell us, what to eat for breakfast, what kind of vaccines we should get, what we should be putting in our bodies.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say real quick. I want to just jump back on that lieutenant colonel. So him being in uniform, yeah, there's a little bit different, structure as far as the military versus, let's say, school teachers
Yeah.
that are paid by taxpayers, that are unionized, stuff like that.
I think I know where you're going with this one now.
Oh, with
Oh,
that psychopath
Cal?
teacher out in California,
Yeah.
who seemed to just completely go cuckoo. I call it Kamala. She went completely Kamala, because she was almost on the verge of laughing.
Well, she was almost
Giddy.
like salivating.
Yeah,
her
she
mouth,
was
like,
she was giddy
it was weird.
about pressing propaganda on students.
On children, not, these are our children.
If you are if you are being paid by the taxpayers, what right is it of yours to push your own personal beliefs onto children that are not yours?
Well, it's been going on for some time now. We're just waking up and smelling the coffee now.
Well,
At least because I'm a new mom, so I really be honest, I wasn't paying attention to what was being taught in schools before, because I didn't have any kids and I didn't have anything in it.
meat.
So,
Me too.
but growing up, I could tell you this much, even going to a school in California, in the LA district, the criteria for sex ed was ninth grade, and we had to have our parents sign a waiver. So things have changed drastically, because now you're hearing stories and articles in the news about private school teachers teaching first graders and second graders inappropriate
You
things.
mean masturbation?
Right. Which is even disgusting, putting that even, ugh. But these people need to be held accountable, because we've gone too long, and I think the biggest thing is it's all connected, and we're going to be touching on that as we go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, topics like that and more. And the one thing that, all this, especially with the people that are put in charge, are in a constant state, especially in the last 2 weeks. And if anybody's paying attention, they have to be saying, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And we call it, in the military, it's called the fog of war. And we are in that fog of war right now. We're not in another war yet, but it seems to be that we're building towards one. I mean, we just armed a terrorist group with $85 billion worth of equipment. We never even, whenever you deploy in the military, you are trading spots with another unit. You do what's called left seat, right seat. You do a handover.
Yeah.
You say, hey, this equipment over here, you might want to keep an eye on that. Last time I was in Afghanistan was 2016, and the guy that I was doing the handover with, there was some things that were missing. We ended up finding them, and we did find them. But it was like, I'm not going to sign for that, because that could be your career right there. You lose something like MVG,
Right.
or, which this is one thing that I know a lot of younger, I'll say infantrymen might relate to this one. And I know I was in the infantry, so that's where my experience comes from. But doing things like Hands Across America, looking for a pair of binoculars or night vision goggles, or heaven forbid, an M4 or a saw, something like that.
Yeah.
You ain't going home till that piece of equipment's found.
Well, I think the fact of the matter is everything that's played out the last 2 weeks has been absolutely disgusting. Where Biden handled everything and gave up strategic positions as far as Bagram Air Base, as far as running. How are you not able to process people when we have a biometric system that scans the retina of every individual that's coming in and out of that base? When they're coming into that base, they're getting scanned.
Yeah.
So they're in that
System.
So you're telling me that this idiot Biden, well, he's not an idiot, because obviously this is by design. Afghanistan was a domino that needed to fall for the profit of China and, all the other countries. But
I can't help but, over the last 2 weeks, think of what you're seeing on the screen right now, is that the square is in fact a circle. And for anybody who knows anything about psychological warfare, there are so many similarities into what's being said and what we're seeing, and we live in an age now where you have to create all these props to
Right.
cover your lies. If you're telling the truth, you only need to be worried about the truth.
right.
But these people don't. So this keeps coming up in my head, this little thing from Goebbels back in World War II.
Sure.
And actually, we're probably going to do, our next show is going to kind of touch on the Nazi Party, what happened to it, and how it relates to everything that's going on right now. And that kind of centers around a 3-letter agency, otherwise known as the CIA. And some of you out there might be saying, all right, this is getting a little, but
Well,
I assure you it's not, I'm not trying to shock anybody or, just throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks. I say that because my background is one of this. And this is one of the skill sets that we have in the Special Forces community. And unconventional warfare is something that, to me, I feel like it's being played out in real life. And it's something that I've never done, but it was something that I was trained in. And the signs are starting to show up all around us. And I think that we as Americans need to recognize this, and we need to realize that we are in a situation that we've never been in before. And the people that really need to start waking up are the people of faith.
yeah.
because we are living in an age now where your religious freedoms are not protected. And it is a slippery slope, to say the least, that we're in right now.
Right.
So we're probably going to cut it right about there because it is about 135 degrees in here.
And I'm not going to lie, it's been a rough day, especially because today was the last, the 31st, it was the deadline. So I still have family there, and my heart's there in Afghanistan right now. So I'm not very...
I do want to say one thing about my wife. For the last 2 weeks, she's been working nonstop, filling out paperwork for people to try to get people over here and escape certain death. Or not here, because we're not really taking people unless
the State Department, it's a fighting age male or...
that's right.
Yeah.
Unless it's a fighting age male, something like this. I don't know if anybody can... I'll give anybody who can $2 if they can show me where a woman is in this picture.
My question is why? I mean, I'm not against anybody seeking. If they need help, they need help. But this picture, just to me, especially after I know for a fact the information I was getting from the ground at the airport. I mean, who are these people? Do we even know?
I don't recognize anybody from that group.
I don't either. I just see a bunch of...
Fighting age males.
Yeah.
You just lost your country.
Well...
For the most part, I mean...
We can't just assume that everybody in that picture is, going to be doing malicious things.
No.
We can't assume that either.
No, that's not what I'm assuming. What I'm saying is your country just fell. What did you do to try to prevent it? And if you're that age male, if you're that young, you need to be fighting for your country.
Absolutely.
Because this is the one thing that I don't think people get yet. And I'm going to show a picture real quick to try to explain it.
You know what that reminds me of, that picture?
What's that?
Is our niece was telling us a story about an Afghan fella that she had dated a while back, and he got the Willy Wonka ticket.
Yeah. Oh, I've got the golden ticket.
And he goes to the airport. He leaves behind his mom and dad and his sister.
But he got out.
But he took 2 of his buddies too.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Mom and Dad,
deuces.
You be okay with the Taliban.
Fight these Taliban.
I gotta go to the UK now.
Gotta go do a TikTok video or something."
Yeah. And that's you bring up a really good point about that. Is those individuals should be the individuals that should be fighting for their country and for their land.
Should it be those women like that soon to be, or the bride to be who just lost her husband? Should she be fighting?
Well, there's a lot of videos out there of Afghan women with arms, and they're protesting. I have yet to see one of men doing one. Afghan men. As far as in Afghanistan, I've seen one in J-Bad, I'm not going to lie. But we need more of that. We need people to gather together.
We do, because there is nowhere I'm glad that people got out of Afghanistan. I thank God every day that people got out. But a lot of people didn't get out.
No. And I feel like the people that didn't get out, you got so many people. Like, I was reading an article that this rapist, who happened to be Afghan, got deported back during the Trump administration, And long and behold, he's one of the ones that get off the first planes. Ta-da, he's back in the United States. Yet, when we have actual people, actual allies, actual individuals that are screaming for help, and we were trying to do everything the right way by doing paperwork, by reaching out to different individuals in the State Department, Department of Defense, and at each corner, I was stonewalled. And it got to the point where I was like, I feel hopeless. You try to do something the right way, and what do you get in return? A slap in the face. You know?
Yeah.
So that now, what are they going to do with that rapist? They can't, the airport's closed from what I understand in Kabul, so now he's going to probably sit in a jail, and our tax dollars are going to probably pay for that too. So it's just a very bad, like my mom, speaking to my mom today, funny, these articles came out today, but my mom said the one thing that she fears is you're going to have individuals that were pushed through like
cattle.
like cattle.
Get in the cattle car.
Just get in.
Just get in. Don't worry about who it. Well, the one report that we read had people just receiving blank sheets of paper. Just put your name on this
Yeah.
and get on the plane.
Yeah, but then they were telling people like us that had family members stateside or, anywhere in the West.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, you guys have to go through these, and you guys have to do this paperwork.
Oh, and then this letterhead's wrong.
Yeah.
That's the wrong font.
Yeah. We're not helping Christians.
Yeah. Hey, let me go get my laptop real quick. You gonna wait here? You gonna keep that plane running?
Yeah. The scanner. Let me go scan that for you real fast. And that was the other thing is, we made sure that we helped out, because that was the biggest thing that to me as well was not only helping out our allies and the vulnerable, the Afghan people that were vulnerable to the Taliban, but the actual individuals that were, we knew for a fact that we're going to get persecuted. And I was a part of getting at least one person that was Christian's paperwork done, because I don't know a lot of Afghans that are Christian. But we were able to do paperwork for one, so I'll take that as a win, because we're still saving lives at the end of the day, and that's what's important. That's what people should understand is
that's what we should all strive for, is to help one another, especially now. And as far as our organization, real quick before we cut this first episode, our organization, the Pillars of Liberty, is basically a group of veterans and people from other walks of life,
members of the community. And
what we're trying to do is bring people from different religious backgrounds together because of everything that's going on in not just our country, but in our world. I mean, you look at our neighbors to the north, where you have pastors and priests that are getting arrested for simply just practicing their faith. And a lot of people got shut down during COVID.
Yeah, I think
And,
every religious,
Got shut down for
they
the
got
most
shut
part.
down.
And
Cuomo didn't want anybody practicing religion.
well, thank God that
Put
piece of
the
dirt is gone.
Put the chain on the fence so they can't go pray. Because prayer, we need vaccines, not prayer. I'm gonna stick with praying. Thank you. I think my chances are way better with praying than taking a vaccine. Thanks, Cuomo.
Well, that vaccine at least.
That vaccine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's our choice. So, but that's a topic for another episode. So I think with that, we are gonna cut it for this evening, and
Yes.
we got the jitters out, I think.
Yeah, we got the jitters out, and I promise I'll be more giddy in the next one.
And I promise I will take this mashed potatoes out of my mouth from dinner earlier.
Okay.
And
Go brush your teeth.
yes.
Okay.
So that's it for this episode of the POLCAST, and we want to thank you for tuning in. And look for us again. We're going to be on a couple different platforms, but hopefully. So
Yep. You could check us out on Rumble. And we're still looking at YouTube right now, but with all the regulations they have, it's probably going to be a no. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So I guess with that being said, you got anything else to add before we cut it, Smooch?
Just everybody, this right now, people are feeding off of this negative energy that's going around. I think we need to project positive and hope And just God bless.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. Whew.